Welcome back everyone to the Hello World Guy, and this is episode number 5 of the Flappy Bird series. And in this video we are going to make we are going to basically finish our we are going to, if we have already finished our game, we are going to add sound effects, and then we are going to publish not publish we are going to build our game for Android, and make sure that it works on Android. So first of all, we are going to add audio. Now for this I have created a new folder here called sound, and in here I have imported all of my sounds. And you can download these sounds using the link given in the description. The pack also contains sprites, but you can use mine or these, it's up to you. And you can see that it has got a bunch of sounds, and we are not going to use all of them. We are only going to use wing, wind, and hit. You might delete these two, but I'm not going to do that. Anyway, so let's start with the point. Now this point is going to be played when the player actually goes through a pipe and earns the point. So in order to play it at that point, what we are going to do is first of all go ahead and open up our pipe prefab. So let me open that up. Then select go under sound, and if I go under my scene view, you can see that if I select my pipe, it's got this collider here. Now I'm just going to, which is used when the player actually to increase the player's score. Anyway, I'm going to make sure that it's quite thin because we only want it to register at the center. You might even go ahead and add in an edge collider 2D, but we are going to just use this. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is add in an audio source component to this. Just add in audio source, and that's nice. And then drag the point audio as the audio clip, and make sure that play on awake is turned off, or else the pipe would play the sound as soon as it is spawned. Alright, now what I'm going to do is double click on this to open up the pipe script, and in here navigate down to the on trigger enter 2D method. In here where we actually increase the player's score. So when we are doing that, after increasing the score, I'm going to use get component here, and I'm going to get the audio source component, and we are just going to call the play method on it. So now if I go under Unity and let it compile, what you should see is that well, it works. So let's just wait for it to compile and then hit play, and as soon as it starts, as you can see, it's soon the pipe should arrive, and as soon as it pipe through them, it plays the sound, which is really nice. So we have got one sound implemented, and the next sound to implement are the flap and die sounds, both on the actual bird. Alright, with that done, I'm going to now select my player, and we are going to actually, let me just remove these, and yeah, we are going to add in two audio sources here because two sound effects played at different points. One is the hit sound effect and one is the other one. To add in two audio sources, audio source. Okay, one of them should have, if I just go under here and open up my sound, and in here one of them, let me select the player. The first one should have this the hit sound effect, alright, and the second one is going to have the wing sound effect. The hit sound effect will be played when the player hits the ground or the pipe, and the wing will be played when the player flaps. Yeah, with that done, it's time to open up the player script. So if I just select my player and I double click on this, and yeah, here's the player script. I have changed it a little. I just added a small little feature. The code will be publicly available on GitHub. I will publish it today, and you will find a link so you can check out the changes I made. It basically allows us to change the speed of everything easily. Just you can check it out. I'm not going to explain it right now. So what I'm going to do actually is when we destroy everything, for this though we will need serialized fuse references, because or else it will cause problems, because there are multiple components and we can't just use get components. We can use get components, but then it will be a little bit of problem finding out which one is correct. So now create a new header, and this is going to be UI, not UI, it's going to be sound. Alright, so first of all, I'm just going to add in a serialized field here. It's going to be a private audio source called hit source. Okay, and it's going to be another serialized field here, a private audio source saying flap source. Alright, now what should happen is that in here, when we hit the when we do hit, we can execute hit source dot play. Alright, with that done, and in here where we are doing this, so we are setting this velocity. I'm just going to do this. Let me just zoom out a bit, add in this here. Okay, That's better. So in here, what we are going to do is essentially just play the sound. So for this, we are going to say flap sound dot play. With that done, we can go under Unity and let's compile. And as you can see, it's really simple to add sounds, not that complicated at all. And as soon as it has done it, I'm just going to take my first audio source, which is the hit one, and drag it here, and this one here. Yeah, that's nice. So now what I'm going to do is go under my game view, full screen, shift space again, and it should start now. Oh, one problem. One thing we forgot is that none of these should be play on awake. Alright, so now if I hit play, what you should see is that it works. So whenever I click this, it plays the flap sound, and that's working. And if you can see, if you bump, that works. And if I bump down into the ground, that also works. Yeah, that's really nice. And now we have got a working sound system for our game. So with that, I think it's time to make our game compatible with Android. Now, making our game compatible with Android is extremely simple because, well, we only have one control, which is clicking a space key, pressing a space key. But let me just need to get key down. Alright, and what we need to do is basically check if the user has just pressed the screen. That's all we need to do. And we can go, or we can go input dot get touch, and you can give it an index. Now for the index, I'm just going to say 0 dot. Actually, what you can do is write a small method here. That will be better. If I just went here and I wrote a small private bool here, which is just called get touch, I guess, or is touching, or should flap. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. And then we are going to have in here bool called touch, and in the end, what we are going to do is we are going to say okay, let's just going to copy this, and then we are going to, in the end, we are going to say return touch, or this. Okay, and this is by default going to be false, so make sure it's initialized. And that should actually work. So if I just remove this and instead call should flap, that's going to be really nice. Now what we can do in here is we can say touch is equal to false. So we are going to say for, we're just going to write int I is equal to 0, I is less than input dot touch count, which gives you the amount of fingers that are currently pressing the touch. And then we are going to do this. We are going to say in here if input dot get touch all right, and then for this we can give it the I, and then you can say if dot type is equal to touch type dot direct touch. Okay, no, not this dot well, we have got going to face. Okay, dot face is equal to touch face dot begin, which means that we are just touch the screen. And okay, oh, the face is equal. That's a massive mistake. And if this is equal to the touch face dot begin, that means that our touch variable should be is equal to this, because that's essentially a boolean now, and that should actually work. So we can just remove this. And by the way, I just realized that that's not the best way to do it, because if a thanking finger is not touching the screen, that would kind of cause a problem. We should actually never cause problems, but it will, believe me. So we need to say touch is equal to true, and then one more thing we need to do is we need to break out of this loop, because we have already set touch to be true. Then that doesn't matter. We are just going to say break. Okay, you can remove this if you want, by the way, because it's a single if statement inside of this, but I would like to have them. Alright, so this should actually work on mobile as well. If you can't test it right now, but it's going to work, believe me. Alright, so now we have got our game pretty much complete. We have got a main menu, a nice game, screen, everything. We have got everything completely set up. So now the next thing to do is to build it for Android. So in order to do that, if you go under edit and then project settings, in the if you have to let it load up, it's actually taking a little bit of time. Once it loads up, go under the player settings, and here you should find an Android icon here as well as an iOS icon. And in here you have got options for icons of the app. You can make your icons and put them specified resolutions. You have also got resolution and presentation here. Full screen mode should be full screen window, and resizable no, because this is not going to be actually a window, it's going to be complete. And make sure that aspect ratio mode, you can make it legacy widescreen or native or custom. If you want to do that, it's up to you, but we are going to leave it at native. And default rotation should only be portrait for our game, because it doesn't work with that. And we have got a bunch of other stuff. By the way, these start settings are also in the iOS portion, so you can see we have got well, we have should have okay, we have got splash image here, resolution and presentation, status bar. All right, can't seem to find out the default orientation. All right, you can make it portrait or you can make it landscape, right, left, whatever, but we are going to make it portrait because our game is designed to work that way. And once you have filled in all of the details you want, you can go ahead and you can go under publishing settings, and you can make key stores here. That's stuff if you actually want to publish the game to platform like Google Play Store. And other settings should have stuff like rendering settings and a bunch of other stuff. You can go in here and change whatever you like. By the way, up here you can have your product name and your company name. For the company name, you can put something here like I can put the Hello World guy here, and you can put whatever version you want. I'm going to put 1.0.0, and yeah, that's going to work. You can also put a default icon and cursor which will be displayed all the time. So yeah, you can do whatever you want here, set whatever you like. With that done, once you have created all of your settings, go under build and settings, and make sure all of your scenes are added in the correct order. Then select Android here, and I have also got Windows, Mac and Linux options, but select Android. And in here for the texture compression, just leave everything at default, it's not going to matter really, and just hit build. And alright guys, so now this is pretty much it for this video and this series. So I will see you tomorrow, and make sure to suggest some cool ideas, comments down below about the next series. I have got something planned, but it might change. So I will see you in the next series starting from tomorrow, and make sure to like and subscribe. Check out my other develop channel, and I will see you tomorrow, and bye.